Important disclaimer and viewer notice. This is an international broadcast intended for a mature audience, 18+. It is designed for global horse racing enthusiasts, particularly those in jurisdictions outside of India. This content may be of special interest to attendees at the live event. Important notice for viewers in India. Please be advised that this content is not intended for your jurisdiction and may conflict with local laws. Please read the following carefully before proceeding. 1. Purpose of this channel: an academic exercise in risk analysis. This live stream is a purely educational and informational broadcast. Our focus is on the academic exploration of handicapping methodologies, statistical data analysis, and the principles of risk assessment. Crucially, our analytical framework does not assess the probability of winning. Instead, our entire focus is on identifying and evaluating the potential for financial loss and the inherent risks associated with each variable. This is an intellectual simulation designed to teach a disciplined, risk-first approach to analyzing the science of horse racing. The live format of this stream is essential to this analytical mission. A spreadsheet alone provides only a static, quantitative snapshot. A complete and rigorous risk assessment requires the inclusion of dynamic, real-time variables. These include qualitative observations from the paddock, the physical condition and behavior of the horses, last-minute changes in weather and ground conditions, and the strategic decisions made by jockeys during the race. Therefore, the use of a live race feed is for the strict purpose of data collection and model validation. It allows us to test our pre-race statistical analysis against the reality of the live event, which is a critical part of the educational process. 2. No betting advice or inducement. A firm policy. This channel does not provide betting tips, financial advice, or picks. The content is not intended to induce, encourage, or promote any form of wagering or participation in online money games, which may be prohibited by your local laws. Any analysis is a theoretical exercise and must not be interpreted as a recommendation to place a bet. 3. Strictly independent, supported by viewers. The host of this channel is fully independent. We have no affiliation, partnership, or financial relationship with any bookmaker, wagering platform, or any other entity in the gaming industry. Our analysis and content are not sponsored or influenced by any outside entity. This channel is made possible through the voluntary support of our viewers via YouTube's official features, Super Chat, etc. All contributions support our educational mission, and our content will always remain free and accessible. 4. Community Code of Conduct. Fostering analytical discussion. We encourage an intelligent discussion focused on the science of racing. Encouraged. Sharing your thoughts and analysis on the race or any horse, focusing on data, strategy, or observed risks. Prohibited. Discussing personal bets, encouraging others to bet, requesting tips, or sharing links to wagering sites. Violation of these rules will result in comment deletion and a potential ban. 5. Viewer responsibility, legal compliance. You, the viewer, are solely responsible for your own actions and for understanding and complying with all laws in your jurisdiction. This channel and its host assume absolutely no liability for any financial losses or legal consequences. By continuing to watch this stream, you acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agree to these terms. You confirm that your purpose for watching is to learn from our methods of live data analysis and the critical study of factors that influence race outcomes.
Good morning. Today is 29th of October 2025 and we're going to do some analysis at Randwick. We've got only 6 races here today. It's a midweek Wednesday and just 6 races. The ground rating is soft as of now. The last finishing mile is about 408 meters from the last bend to the finishing post. From here till here, so that's about 408 meters. But this ground, this is a it's one of the most prominent places in New South Wales after Randwick. So, but this track, they bring in horses, especially during the midweek, that are very volatile in nature. We'll see how it works today, and we'll see how and what we can do here today. Welcome to Grandstand, and we do horse racing analysis, and we do that in two steps. First, we try and add 10, 11, 8, 4. So the 10 is the favorite. Now, I mean, that's ideally, these two are the top two horses. But the problem with these two horses are this, that both of them has negative leverage. I mean, all of them has negative leverage. The actual positive leverage is here on this one and this one. But they both are in a very bad state. They both are in very bad state. So I don't know if those things are actually going to come. These are the positive leverages. Rest, everything is negative. But that's usually the case when it's maiden. Now, I like the 6, but the problem is that 6 is ridden by Mr. J. Ford. I'm going to stay out of that. These two are drop here, they are drop here. That's the same thing. The advantage is this, and then probably here 66, but that's 7.7 drop on this, and that generally doesn't work. The 8, I think, is the right odd here. Now, the 8 and the 5, they're kind of neck to neck, these two horses. 8 and 5, they're kind of neck to neck, but the advantage and the calibration is a little better on 8. This is 175. This is 176. This is 90. This is 89. So it is a very close call between these two horses. It's a very close call between these two horses. About the jockey, this jockey is better handicapped. This jockey is not. So all that thing is there, but having this jockey as better handicapped, the thing reduces, but the gate number also gets widened here. So that's 9, right? And this is gate number 5, this is gate number 6, and this is gate number 4. The 10 is good. The 10 is good. There is no doubt the 10 is good. It is one of the best. But gate number 11 is a little too far. For advantage, we needed pressure on this horse, which is unfortunately not the case. If we had some pressure, we could have looked into it. But with pressure from that gate, with advantage from that gate, I don't know if that's. Everybody is through advantage. The only pressure probably is here on this horse, which is 1. If we look at the highest, then that's the highest. Okay. That's the highest pressure, which is 0. And that, gentlemen, is like that. The kind of 60% bleeding. So that's the highest pressure. Rest everything is like that. We have no clue about these two horses, the 4 and the 12, the 4 and the 7. These two horses, we have no clue, but 4 is ridden by J Mac. What he will do is a question that I have no answer for at this point of time. But that's J Mac. Up here, if we look at what it is, the 6 definitely stands a very strong chance. The 6 definitely stands a very strong chance. But this thing is written by J Ford, so he is a champion of doing things wrong. He's a champion of doing things wrong. So that is something that we'll have to take with a pinch of salt. I hope it doesn't do anything, because out here, if this calibration is at 90, this is at 91 DFC. It's a thing that we know what these are capable of doing, right? But it is written by J Ford, and I don't want to go with that. These two are good, but this one has 3 races, did nothing in last 3. What will it do? And look at that fall. So the lowest out of this is probably 4.6. Here it rises 4.7, then it is 5.6, this is 7.7. These are there. These are the highest leverages, but also going through some kind of situation. So I don't know whether all that will happen. 8 is rightfully the odds are right here on 8, but it's all maiden. They have 2 races. They have done nothing in 2 races. What will they do today as a speculation? That's a very wild thing to do. The 4 has never run, and J-Mac is on that. What J-Mac is going to do, that is also a very difficult call to take. They are bad, but they are also here in this race. So what will happen to them, that's different. The right thing here is, if we actually want to go, because they are also like that. So this is at 60%. That is at 39. They're the second biggest. I mean, they're bleeding. They're not in a position where they are absolutely in a spotless situation. They are also bleeding. So if at all anything happens, that 11 probably has a place. Maybe. Why I'm saying place is because, I mean, the 10 is the favorite. It comes from gate number 11. The 11 is good. It is not bad. It is not bad. But then again, they kind of are in a situation, and this is the first one. They're the second highest, probably, who are bleeding. This is at 60%. That's 39. So, what they will do in their decision making is a question that they only can answer. But is it worth it? In my opinion, no. It's a good watch. If it happens, it happens. But that's what my take is. Is it worth it to go and get into an investment or plan an investment on this? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. See, generally, I'll tell you why. Because generally, these horses, all right, 2 races, they've been placed, okay? When they get placed, we usually get a pressure line. We don't have a pressure line on them. So it's all advantage. Each and every, the highest pressure is on this one. All right, that's the highest pressure. That's the one. That's the linear. The linear has a 0 pressure. Now, whether those advantages are enough from those gates, whether they will actually be able to make the right decision with the kind of management that is happening, and if the horse is in a position to deliver with that kind of a negative leverage, it too many question marks. And it's a good watch. We'll watch, and that happens. We'll see how it works. Gatekeeper, welcome back. Mr. Cowboy from the Wild Wild West. But you're up in the north. Sovereignty. Which one is that? Sovereignty. Breeders' Classic. Ah, okay. Won the Kentucky Derby. I wish we could do those races, um, but things are very difficult at this point of time to get on with those timings and stuff. But I hope to do those races one day. I hope to do those races. Let's see. I think we need to. I'm actually trying to prepare a definition, race definition. So I don't know when I'll be able to build that, but we need to have a race definition. That's what is lacking. A narrative that basically highlights. Going through data is one thing, but we need to have a definition. We need to have a definition that'll calibrate with the pressure and the advantage. I mean, the way I understand things is basically this, that every arrangement which is made, every arrangement, like if you go to a shop and there are plenty of products in a shop, now each product in that shop has been placed with a very strategic decision. The top selling items are always in the probably at the end, and the lowest selling items, the things that are very expensive, they are always at the front, at the billing desk. So that's more or less my idea. That's how I work. So whenever I look at data, I need to have a definition. I need to, we require a definition on this, how the floor planning, how the management is happening on this particular project. If we take this entire thing as a project, all right, this is somebody trying to sell us something. Somebody has made this product to sell us something, probably 10. Somebody is selling 10, somebody is selling 11. But out of all this sales which is happening here, if we get the right narrative of how this management is playing, for each race, for each individual race, we need to have that. That's something that I've been thinking for a very, very long time, and I'm seriously trying this with all my resources to build this definition up so that we have a clarity in what is happening. But so far, no good news. I have not been able to build it in a way that helps. So we'll have to wait for that thing to come up. It is something that we need. We need a definition. We need a definition. It's like, you've been to this shop, you know which product is where. So you know which lane to avoid, and you know which lane to walk. So those are the arrangements. These are they teach these things in the top tier business school. I mean, wherever you go, whether it is a shopping mall, a gas station, a small eatery, a branded fast food center, this management place, they will have products placed in a very, very strategic way. They will, and there's a lot of science going into this. There's a lot of science there are. You can do a lot of research on this. You will find how they do it. What are the mechanisms? They have outsourced it. Some of the major companies have outsourced this, and people are doing this. And I'm sure the same applies here as well. It cannot go like this. I mean, every business under the sun. You go to any website, they will try to sell you something. The top selling items they will show you. But when you try to look for the discount, that is something that you have to look for. You have to find it. And those are the things that you actually want. So, it's always like that. It is something that needs to be worked on. The problem is, this is, I am all by myself. There's no help. And I don't know how and when I'll be able to complete that, but we need to complete that. We need to work on that.
So hopefully this doesn't last long and we're back into the good weather, because I had to shirt some shorts out, I thought, for the next 6 months. I had to get the jumper back out of the closet today.
I think we all did. Netting's your best bet in race number 5 on the go. Tell us about it. Easy trial win.
Recently smashed the block, went straight to the front and won very impressively. I think that was nice and aggressive from that outside gate. Try to get to the front, and look, let's hope the track's not too testing being first up, but I think she's really hard to beat.
And off the last turn on the kids, that track at Brownwood, you're also keen on Silver Nevo in race number 3.
Yeah, that happened, mate. $3 sort of 50 around yesterday, into about $3.25 last I checked. He was good last time in a high rating race. He handles all conditions. He should get in the first 3 or 4 here, and I thought he deserved to be favourite yesterday, and he well and truly is now.
Done in the Dale drop 6 track with its 10th place of maiden grade. Over the 1400 metres, you're with Petersburg. In the front was nailed late last time out at the Warwick Farm 1200.
I thought it was a good effort by this filly. Sets up to 1400 now. I think she was beaten by a good one in Nitro, who came from the clouds and won very impressively. just able to nab it right on the post. I think Nitro's a Saturday city horse every day of the week at the very least, if not a bit better. And I think that form will check up here. I like the fact she's had a couple of starts as well to get a nice platform to 1400.
The 12.
It's a bit 10 long weeks. You haven't struggled quite run at the moment, but maybe this is an opportunity for them to get a winner on the board in town. The last couple of trials have been good.
It's a very, very dicey one. It's got 3 races, did nothing.
Probably a positive now.
Plus, look at that fall.
Clan William, thought he was a real eye-catcher for this horse, and then a little bit disappointing second.
But like I said, we'll see what happens.
So on the home track that solid resume for the horse. Yeah, I thought closed up quite nicely in a recent Rosehill trial. So look, on 11, 10, 5 and 8, I thought you could have something on Pittsburgh to kick off today.
What's your read on Botanist, number 4, making its debut for James McGrath.
Welcome back, John. I'm not going to say anything.
3 here in the most recent. $6 for Tabitrex, good interest.
Yeah, obviously by Ambassador, as you said, and Dan with Phillip as well, very good mare. So, look, the 2 trials this time in have both been solid enough. I sort of put okay next to both.
Yeah, that.
Obviously, RC Source getting up at the trials, so we get to know more about them today. But obviously, very well bred, and Joe Mack from a good gate is always a positive.
From the top late, but the bookies, long legs, $3.90 to $4.40. Pittsburgh, Davo's on top of $4.80 at the $5.50, back into 5. Botanist attracts interest here as well. $7.50.
I'm not going to say a thing.
Number 6, which is computing as a gelding, $11 into $9.
Yeah, it's soft. We have added that. Soft 5. We have done that calibration.
It's 2 soft trials off sort of 234 days, but that gelding operations, there are many horses around. He's on the home track as well, which is a positive, and certainly a chance at off.
The other dudes then spent 11, 12, back to $11. Super out of the toppy, 21 into 18. For the real thrillers, Bella Wahimi, number 9 for Jason Collins, is 31.61, back into $41. So a soft 6 with a rail out 8 today for the 6 race cards.
Yeah, that's the worry. The rail out 8, Marto, when it gets out this far, it can often play very fencing runs, so we've got to keep an eye on that throughout the day. It could be a real sort of travelator, or it might be fine. So, all eyes on the first couple of races.
Further late support for Pittsburgh, the Davidson on top of here late, but the bookies $4.80 at the $5.50, back into $4.80. It's just behind long weeks there. Let's say midweek high to Darren Flendell.
Goes into the line. Yeah, hello, Marto. Welcome to the coverage here at Rosehill. And Vic Wallace joining us from Thoroughbred Central. Final stages of loading here for the first. Long Lease has been trailing the half down. She's the favourite to win the first race. She got as low as 340 at one point, and then the money dried right up.
10K on Botanical. PC, welcome back, PC.
Now, Peace Bird moves in, was up on the skirt of Warwick Farm and nutted on the way up. And going in right here is Long Legs. 6 Kings drawn the outside will be the last to move in. So we've had to double downgrade here. We're on a soft 6. It's a thing that like rain for the fair chunk of the morning. Has cleared up a bit for the running here of race number 1. And we're just about ready to go. First of 6 on the card here at Rosehill. And this is the biggest field of the day. Clearly. Stand by. Gate to back, they're off and racing. Solid music kick. Super Rider went out in sympathy. And winning the start there with Territory Style. Long Legs are showing great acceleration from the wide draw. 6 Kings going muster from the outside. They're followed by Yadazoo, pretty handy on the rail. And Botanist is right with it, followed by Peace Bird and Zaza Mataya. 2 for the back to Clam Williams, Super Rider, Billawar, Heen and Solid are the last 2. Long Legs got across the lead, and 6 Kings got across to sit in second, followed by Yadazoo. Racing keenly in third from Botanist and caught a little bit deep as Territory Star. They're followed in the middle of the pack by Zaza. Pittsburgh's well back today. The tyre hugging the fence. Further back to Clam William from Solid. Then came Super Rudder and Bellabaheen as the last one. Long legs lead approaching the turn by a half here on 6 King. Botanist gets going on the outside. Yadazoo Pack Park right behind them. And then came Territory Star. Long legs brings in front, beating off 6 Kings. Yadazoo straight up on the inside. Looks the only danger at the moment. Then came Botanist grinding away. Long legs at the 300. 2 lengths clear from Yadazoo. A gap back to Botanist. Headway. And Long Legs is stretching the legs at 150 to go. She's been flying at the trials. Rattling home at the end is Matthias going into second, but Long Legs is going to lead all the way. Matthias got up for second. Yadazoo third. Clan William fourth. Followed them by Solid. A gap to 6 King from Super Rudder. Big break back to Botner from Bellabaheen.
10, 6, 12.
Bird never affected today towards the
10, 6, 12.
Always a factor on speed. Long legs never looked like getting beaten. Winning first up for Anaropa, Gary Portelli at $5 to $2.20. So 10 beats, 6 beats 12, 5 is run 4, just about ready at Cook and Cowie. 1 or 2 out of line. Number 8, Bellarista is the favourite at $5, in from $5.50. Late it's in from
to 10. Six. 12. 10, 6, 12. And 5. 6 got there. 12 also got there. 10, 6, 12. Yes. That happened. That did not work. 4. J-Mac. That was Botanist. That was here. Anyway, we'll go to the next. Second. 1 and 7 has been scratched. 2, 4, 5, 6. So, the odds are right. Probably. The 6 is the linear, but a linear doesn't have pressure. So that will not work. 2 is there. So the thing that can happen, and Now, the thing is, it's at 2,400 meters. Okay. Now, generally, 2,400 meters, linears don't win. Linears don't win 2,400 meters. And we don't have a 5-year-old mares. Generally, it is a low pressure horse with some advantage. So this fits the bill. This one is in a bad state. This fits the bill. It's either 254 or 245. It's on those lines. The 4 has a pressure lineup, all right? It's the highest leverage on this horse. But 5 is heavier, much heavier than all that. But if we take out the difficulty from this, it is still at 52. We take out the difficulty, it becomes 48. So ideally it should be 254. Ideally it should be 254. The 6 is there with a pressure lineup, and whether the 6 will get in or the 3 will knock out, that's a thing that we'll figure out, because this is if it works, it is here. And I think 2 is the right odd, because linears generally do not win the 2,400 meters. This distance is very good for 5-year-old mares, but we don't have a 5-year-old mare. The 2 is not on pressure. This is 16, 34, 91. So that is good. All right. Here, if we look at what happened, these 2, they were both at 99. All right. That was the highest. They were both at 99. This was the problem with 11. And that thing kind of delivered. 11 had a chance, but their management is bad. Here, if we look at what it is, then 2 of the highest are this one. And this one definitely is there because of the advantage. 91, 92, this one is here, but that also is like that. So I think it is 254. Anyways, the advantages, they are there to get into the second position. That's also very high FR on that horse. And on top of that, the linears do not win the race. So this is also a 5-year-old gelding. There's a talk, but generally that doesn't happen. So the odds are right. 245 or 254. That's where I see this falling down. It either goes here or here, because this is still high. And the this difficulty plus the pressure is a bad idea. The less difficulty, less pressure is a good idea. So I don't know whether that 6 will happen or the 3 will get in, but up here it is the right odd. I think it is 254. That should happen. We'll see how it works. 254 should happen. This generally does not work. And 6 was 91. So this was 90. This was 91. The highest was on 2, all right, 101. And this one, but both of them were in very bad state. It went here, 12 was third, 79, 8 did not work because the 6 was there with that advantage, which was here at 91. This is okay. We'll see how that works. I like 2, 5, and then probably 4. If that does not fail us. because there's a strong chance the 3 might get in. Linears generally do not get in. 6, 5 up till all that is good. The 4 is dicey. Whether it will get in there with that pressure is dicey. The 6 is definitely dicey. This one is good. Hope it works. 2 and 5. 2, 5, 4. Probably. There's a huge management on this horse, the 4. That's 1638 different days. Here's 71, 91, minus 100. 78. This is 91, 85, 65, 92. So that is good, 101, 72, 91, 85 drops here. 16, 92. Let's see how it works. I think it is 2 and 5. 2 and 5 should work. 2 and 5. Then if this thing gets in, it gets in. But this is going to be competing with a 4-year-old gelding, though it is not in a great shape, but a lot less pressure on this horse. We'll see how it works. Bendigo. They're showing Bendigo. They're showing something else. They'll be showing Doom Bend. I had the Doom Bend races prepared today. I don't know which one, but it is heavy 9. 11 at Doom Bend. Which race is this? Doom Bend, not yet. Not yet. They're showing doggies.
Close up for third event from Doomben next with the tab fixed. The joint favourites, so one Bond Vader, which is 250 this morning, late 215 to 270 back to 260, and Shortcut, which joins it as better back to the duo, 340 $3.60. On Point Pixie number 8 is $5. It's out from $4.80. Very solid on that third line. If you're after one of the longer odds, Nottingham Prince in particular, $13 into $10 spec, and we're 60 seconds or so away. Quickly with the bookies, late Spawn Vader, 215 to 270 into 250 back to 260, and Shortcut 330 into $2.60 jointed there as well. Nottington Prince is $12 into $10 for the Real Thrillses. Sort of in Love, number 12, $81.91 into $71. Shortcut is 11 special. Bernie Cooper tips it as well. Bond Vader though for this fan, David Fowler. And a bit of a gamble with Bond Vader. Probably not as savages with Swag in the previous race, and they got that right. But Bond Vader, $2.60 and Shortcut, $2.60. But clearly, Shortcut the better backed out of the pair. They've met each other in the market now. She was good the other day, 2 weeks ago in Shortcut behind Sequel. She had the bad gate that day and ran on well, but I think Bond Vader's run 3 weeks ago on debut was also good. And in fact, a little bit of extra support for him now. Number 1 sees him at 250, 11 Shortcut at 260. And On Point Pixie, who's honest but has had a few opportunities at $5.
But the 7 has been scratched.
Totally unnoticed, $10.
This is race number 3, Doom Bend.
After running a race 2, they ran 120.
7 got scratched, I think.
That's just fine. One to come up is Nottingham Prince.
As soon as he joins the line, the starter, Mr. Smith, will be ready to release him in the third race today. 13.50 again. Fine look at the tote board. 1 Bob Vader, 250, fixed favourite. Mashani Witness is getting Towie in the gates, and there's 1 out wide going off as well. Currently, we've got an unsettled line. I noticed the jockey Luke Dempsey out of the saddle of Mashani Witness. And they've released number 4 from the gates, which is it, Nottington Prince. So Nottington Prince released from the gates. See, there was a bit of drama in those gates with a few going up. And the vet having a look at Nottington Prince, number 4, not totally unnoticed in the market at $10. Josh Adams, our chairman of Stewart. Yes, Josh? Yes. Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Adams confirming that Nottington Prince being vetted, and also Mashani Witness. That's as well, they released on point 50 from the gate. So, we're on a hold here. So, I think what they're trying to do at the moment is actually extricate Mashani Witness from the barrier stall. And they have done that now. So, 2 to be vet checked. Nottington Prince and Mashani Witness. On point Pixie out of the line as well, but that may have been to make way for Mashani Witness. 2:30 now, 1 Bob Vader. That's all happened right on start time. 2:30. Shortcut 280. On point Pixie, $5. So Bob Vader, an initial gamble, but the strongest money has come from late. It will run the favourite. Now, this will be news regarding these runners. Yes, Josh. So, thank you. So, a late scratching. Mashani Witness is out. Nottington Prince cleared the run. Race 3, number 13, Mashani Witness, a $26 fixed odds prospect, is a late scratching. And Nottington Prince, on the other hand, rewrited the run. On point, Pixie goes back into the gates. They bring Nottingham Prince up once again. Mashani Witness will have to wait for another day. And now we're down to 7 runners from the third. 220 now, Bob Vader, 280 shortcut. All in, light on, ready to break, and they're racing. Shortcut might have missed by a length at the start, and uncharacteristically came out poorly. Normally good beginner, it's lasted a stride. Nottingham Prince and sort of in love with the first 2 to go from On Point Pixie. Shortcut 4th on the rail. Bob Vader was only fairly served at the start, was 5th and 3 deep. And then a decent gap to the other pair, NIM, outside of Aiden's Mount, who began slowly heading towards the back bend. 8.50 left to run, and Nottingham Prince in control. Nolan tries to rate the pace and leads by a length to Sort of in Love in second. 2 to 1 Point Pixie travelling third. Then the big guns of the market. Shortcut in 4, Bob Vader in 5, and Aiden's Mount and NIM, they've tacked on, so the speed has slowed. Heading down towards the 600 metres. Nottingham Prince in front, trying to do it all the way. Shortcut slipping through on the inside to follow the leader now. Sort of in Love is gone, being passed by On Point Pixie. Bob Vader has been pushed off the track, trying to wind up and get into the picture. Aiden's Mount sticking to the rail, but being ridden hard, and NIM is last. Nottingham Prince grabbed by Shortcut in the straight. It ran to the lead. On Point Pixie after it gamely. Bob Vader's only struggling. Then Aiden's Mount, but Shortcut booted away and went for home and looked home with 100 metres left to run. Well clear. Nottingham Prince, On Point Pixie and Bob Vader. They can't do any better.
11. Busy.
Nottingham Prince, On Point Pixie.
Boom. Busy.
Over longer intervals, Aiden's Mount, NIM, and Sort of in Love with the best.
11, 4 and 8.
260 across all of it, though. 11 beating 4, 8 and 1 and
Boom.
4 with a late stretching in Mashani Witness number 13. The late boxes for race number 3 on the Q1 Lakeside, which sees the joint favourites of the inside Mizuki Hart, $2.90 to $3.60 back into $3.30 at number 7. He's
The 7 was scratched, I think. The 7 got scratched. Okay, on 6. Six. Four three six three. Araman, welcome back. PC, who's your John? I like. It has really good sound.
One they want everywhere. Format is 260 to 310. War Ribbon 480 out to 5, back into 440, and War Ribbon's been best back to beat your top pick, the Budgie Smuggler, Davo.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this 4-year-old Mutto. I love his run at Randwick back on July 12, one of the runs of the day against the pattern, and then obviously had a setback and he's come back. He was good first up. A little bit disappointing last time, but he's a much better horse on wet ground. He gets that set up today. He's progressive enough. First three home in the first race were all fencing run, so I don't want to go the early. I want to have another a look at a race or two, but if we can somehow find the fencing run, that would be a positive as well.
The Budgie Smuggler gets weight relief, second run back, drops 4.5 kilos, very lightly races, former Kiwi 5-year-old.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? And as you see, gets weight relief. So does format, I guess. It's a 3 kilo, so it makes a little bit better with the weights. But I just think with that run under the belt in Australia and that heavy 10 win at over in New Zealand, like this track did look more testing than a 6 there first up. I know we're down to a 7, but it almost looked in the heavy range from what we saw there in the first range. They were really struggling to run home. So this is going to be a real slog, and I think a horse like the Budgie Smuggler is going to love it. So you can easily have it on top.
They are starting to load. The main quaddy leagues today are races 3 till 6. So this is 6 races today at Rosehill. Scan that QR code to get Davo's quaddy numbers straight into your bet slip, and if it gets up, a 50% boost in bonus bets with tab. Let's get to Darren for the second.
The Budgie Smuggler, the second started in Sydney, then showed great promise at Hawkesbury, chasing home format. So, 5 of them running here on this deteriorating track at Rosehill. So I've set on the revised going. The gates are back, and the 5 of them are off here in race 2 of the day. And a nice level line out, format barrier 1. White cap there, the too early. The Budgie Smuggler wants a bit of cover. War Ribbon's just coming down on top of it to ensure that it sits on the fence. And the Inform Hayes is back last of all. So format looking for back-to-back wins. In the lead and rolling here for Tim Clark turning out of the straight. So it's format by a length and a half on Scottish Pearl. A last start winner over a similar distance, followed by the Budgie Smuggler, who's travelling pretty keen. Yes, keen there, the Budgie Smuggler. And
It's a bad idea. Why is he raving that horse?
War Ribbon keeps it company the outside. And Hayes is when he's last 2 at Scone. He's happy to sit back last. And Format
Chill out, baby.
enough place. On the small field, they're going to bowl to run. And Format is an undisputed leader as they head to the back. Format by 2 lengths on Scottish Pearl. A neat length back to the Budgie Smuggler. He's travelling strongly, but looks as though he's switched off now for Gibbons. Half the outside to War Ribbon. And Hayes is quite happy to sit back last. They roll down the back section of the course. And on this very misty, gloomy day at Rosehill, it's format at the 1,200 metres at the halfway mark. Now, length on Scottish Pearl has left the fence now and is getting one off. It's another Budgie Smuggler to just push through the inside and race at its quarters. 3/4 of a length away to War Ribbon. And 2.5 lengths off last of all is Hayes as they prepare to leave the back. No change to the order. 4 jockeys content with their positions in the field of 5. And the format starts the run down the M4 side of the course. 800 to go by 3/4 on Scottish Pearl. Just inching a bit closer now, and War Ribbon is given its head and is sliding forward 3 wide. The Budgie Smuggler lost a length or so there, just being livened up a little bit. Hayes is last of all, 600 to go now, and format just in front of Scottish Pearl, and War Ribbon strides up on the outside. And they're followed then by Hayes getting under its back. And in the small field, the Budgie Smugglers had to ease back, come to the outside. War Ribbon, can he get on with the job today? He's opened up with a 300 lead by 2. Hayes is chipping into the margin, and now the Budgie Smuggler is starting to come loose. She's coming with a big run on the outside of the Budgie Smuggler. Gibbons just cleared his goggles there, and it's gone away. The former New Zealander, fighting in Sydney, and the Budgie Smuggler
4, 5, 3.
Scottish Pearl dropped right out.
4, 5, 3.
Format finished a clear last.
The Budgie Smuggler reveling in the conditions, waltzing right away, Davo, with the dollar range across the top.
4, 5, 3.
Yeah, we needed was the silver on the flippers, mate. We've been right at home there. I just loved the wet track this horse, didn't he? He just stomped through it. You could see on the turn he was bolting, and Dylan just had to bide his time, get out, and War Ribbon sort of made that move.
4, 5, 3.
But second horse just, or the Budgie Smuggler, the winner, just wins. So first and second both good. If that's not a heavy track, I'll be surprised.
Budgie Smuggler.
So what happened? That he was raving that horse. He did not have to rave that horse. The 4 with that management just went through with the pressure line. Then 4, 5. This was anyway there. 4, 5, and the 3. This one lost because of its own mismanagement. The 6 was difficult. It did not, being a linear, there were quite a few problems with this one. Firstly, the management. Here also, that management did not work. Here, it was one of the management issues, the highest actually, that was there. And the difficulty was also very high. Here the difficulty drops, but the horse was bad with a low pressure, which is okay. So this one was good. So what happened here is this one raved because of some reason. He raved that horse. I don't know who was riding this, but he raved that horse and it just gave up. And that happened. This was not there, and this one went through. That was a bad idea. Raving that horse, he did not have to rave it. It could have gotten there. It's a 2400 meter. Why would you rave that horse is a question they should ask themselves. It lost gas at the last moment. Anyway, we'll go to the next. The Rosehill third. 156 has been scratched. 8793. Yes, PC, I'm showing Bendigo. Eleven Bendigo. What is the race number? This one. 4 or 5 or 6. Where did you find 11? Mud lover. But where did you find 11? In Bendigo? Race 6. Well, race 6 doesn't have 11. Okay, this is Doom. I'm looking at Doomben and talking about Bendigo. My mind is all. I'm a little sorry about that. I was looking at Doomben and thinking, where did you find 11?
He's been with the pony ever since it went on the track. It's about to come up. The toppy. He's been well tried. It's either 330, 340 for Scalado, and 550. Let's face the music. 1100 metres. Starter up. Quaddy about to get underway here on Cup Day. Good 3 now. The rating. Race 8, number 108, scratching 333 because of that, and they're off and running. Pure Bliss jumped just okay, no speed from Harry's Yacht yet. Pure Bliss is mustering and proved, and Scalado, the two favourites out wide, came out running. Pure Bliss gets to third in front of Harry's Yacht and then Trapeze Warrior. They were followed next in the field then by Let's Face the Music, who's getting up along the inside making ground. Veloci Caro was in that group with it, and then followed by Quasine Yeldy. And in the Waikato colours at the tail end of the field was sought after. Proved and Scalado, the two favourites head for head. A half length in front of Pure Bliss emerging. Out 3 wide and then Harry Shot looking for a run. Trapeze Warrior was next as they make the bend. Cuisine taking off wider on the outside of it. And there followed further back to Veloci Caro. Let's Face the Music. Trying to find ways through. Proved trying to beat off Scalado. Pure Bliss keeps coming. Harry Shot's into the clear. Harry Shot on the outside is coming after Prove now. They're followed by Yeldy from the back, but Harry Shot went bang. Number 3 was the first leg of the quad. 2 legs to Yeldy
352.
from the back. Sought after was an eye catcher. He smashed home for third in front of Let's Face the Music. They were followed then by Scalado and Proved. They had a spare sparring duel, but they ended up running centre field with not much between them from Pure Bliss, Cuisine, Veloce Cap.
We'll watch the Doombane and then we'll talk about the Rosehill. Four was a mud nursery. Mud was, I think, 6. Tumben, favorite.
At 5, I reckon. It won't probably for Entrum Movement is the next assignment. Minute 40 away. Easy love for Ryan Maloney, David Van Dyke. There's 195 into 165 with the tab fix. Sam Gabriel has been left alone on the second line. Number 2, $3 this morning. It's overall into $2.80. The clear market mover is Easy Love, and it's popular for race.
And no
number 4.
chance. Last out.
Easy Love, 185 into 165. It's back to $1.70. Sam Gabriel is
What is
$2.70
favorite?
to $2.80. Captain Eagle, 650 to 750. Now the two get out has double figure odds chances for race number 4. Easy Love is a Paul Joyce special. Bernie Cooper tips in as well. Sam Gabriel on top of David, who we joined to call race 4.
Thanks for that, Marta. You're still at the gates. Won't take long to load with the small fields today. Only a field of 5 here.
3 is favorite.
As we said, on a heavy 8 after race. In that previous race, they ran 120.84. Almost identical to the 120.91 in the second race. Better than heavy 8, soft 7. They've taken the short odds easy. Love, always a good sign. When they have been short, others are happy to take those odds available. So Easy Love, what was it, 195? 195 this morning.
3 is the
Down
favorite.
to $1.60. $1.60 now, so that's a significant shift in the red. St. Gabriel, $2.88 to $3, now $3.10 as they move in. Captain Eagle 8, doing it easy, 21 versus 41. That's the story of the market. Just about ready now.
It's because of the jockey, I think. Somebody very, very strong riding that horse.
The outsider will be the last one to move in. This race with the shortcut, well back there, and Daniel riding for Matt Dunn. She finished 2 well for them. Now they're all in. There's the light.
5
Ready to be
to
dispatched in the 4th today at Doomben. Racing. Up to an even line. Captain Eagle is
best jock in QLD. Yeah, so that I can see that. But
Easy Love will settle 4th on the inside.
somebody very strong riding that horse.
Pink colour settles in last position. Turning to the back, 1,300 left to Rana. And doing it easy actually got up right on the inside of Captain Eagle and kept it out. So the mouth wide open, it's keen to go faster. Down the back straight, doing it easy by just over-released to Captain Eagle, also under restraint. Easy Love lands in third, and Gabriel trails the bar length, so they basically race together, the two big guns in the market. And Bird is just minding its own business in last position. Short of 1,000 metres left to run, pace only moderate, and doing it easy is trying to do exactly that. Goes to that back bend with a margin of length and a half. Captain Eagle's also a little keen in second. Easy Love giving the right run in third. St Gabriel right run, and they has trouble on the run, and Furness was in last position. Midway down the side, they've got 700 left to run, and doing it easy. He's been in front from the get-go. Captain Eagle always second, up on its outside. Easy Love third. St Gabriel just coming off the bid down, being asked to go by more, and Furness has always been last. On the turn, 450 left to run. Doing it easy narrowly from Captain Eagle. Easy Love Maloney just 20 on a run. He now comes off the heels of the leading pair, gets into the clear, and has the chance to make his move. And St Gabriel behind Easy Love, about a length behind it, then go Curtis. Easy Love on the outside, race up to Captain Eagle. St Gabriel is putting in strongly now.
Scott, welcome back.
Maloney is trying to grip off with the favourite. St Gabriel is trying hard. They'll follow up the big guns. They go to the line. Also now, Easy Love and Gabriel not sure with the rail.
Two.
Then doing it easy, Curtis and Captain Eagle.
So that's close. Two gets a late dive in. San Gabriel at Easy Love. And does it nail it right at the stick? The outside looks prominent.
Scott, we are doing almost everything.
6 and 4.
But I am on
Just
Rosehill. That is how it looks like here, the two. Alright. The two is one with the body weight up here through the rails, the two, and then the three came in. 37, 38, 38, 18, negative 18. Which one was the highest pressure? These two. 1, 2, 3, 1. Bad jock. 2, 3. Because of this jock. Anyway, that happened. We'll take a look at Rosehill. So, we're talking about this particular race, number 3. 8 is the favorite. Got the rails. You 1.5, 1.558. It's a 1500 meter. That's a 6-year-old gelding. $83, 14. This is 9. That is bad. This is 83, 14. It's in good hand. I think 7. This is J Mac. I think 7. This will go 7. It's difficult. 7, 7, 3. 29, 7, 3. This is difficult. 7.3, then probably 8. Zero pressure. Generally, this doesn't win. We haven't, not most of the time the zero pressure will win. Most of the time the zero pressure doesn't win. Then this thing comes into picture. If we have to take a look at the pressure line, this one is difficult, this is okay, this one is 67% bleeding. They're not there in the winning scenario, but 7 probably is there. This is a very high rated horse. This one is beautiful, but then again, it's got 24 races, and it's not getting younger. And this is not one of those horses like Buckaroo and all that. This is here, it's a benchmark 78. This one stands a threat, the 4. This one stands a threat, but that's how they are, plus their drop. The pressure increases here and here. That's a neutral. This one was a neutral, did not win that monkey. I think 7.3.8, probably. We'll see how that works. 7. I like the 7. Probably 7. MB 6 is showing MB. Lost length. Nine. Three is the advantage. Three is probably a show if they don't rave that horse. 738 is what I think it is, provided they do the right thing.
And we're now on a heavy 8 track. Race number 3.
Man, they're heavy.
Is the start of the main quaddy. 3 scratching sound to a field of 6. No last start winners. And you're on top of Silver Niso. Is a special Bobo. It's a small last start place getter and looks close to a drought-breaking win.
Yeah, it certainly does, Martin. It's been trialling well ahead of this preparation, and then I thought it's been building nicely this campaign. I like to run 2 back behind Idle Flyer on a day where he covered ground, and then last time 3rd behind Rock Empire in a high rating race on the Kento track. Thought it was certainly respectable. Look, he's going to roll forward, I would imagine, and be in the first 3 or 4. He's handled wet tracks in the past, and look, I thought he deserved to be favourite yesterday. He was around the $3.50 mark. Well, I'm truly into favourite now at $2.15. So
3 and 4.
7 and 4 my numbers. I've thrown in Super Mirage second because we had no luck there first up the other day. I thought it was a solid performance at Warwick Farm.
7 is 7. 7 is number 7, yes. No, 7 is number 7. Yeah. That's the one. 7.
And then was disappointing.
What do you mean by 7 is number 7, PC?
Went for it and maybe wasn't suited for it, but was still pretty disappointing. So jury's out to some degree, but does look a good chance on its best. Before Naval Commission, loves the slot, probably needs a bit further, but I think we'll get through these conditions okay. So look, I thought the 8 was the bet. The odds are obviously pretty cramped down, but it does look the horse clearly the beat for me.
And late with the bookies, it went up at $2.25 Silvanito, and it's into $2.15. Sevens is $2.80, $2.90 back to $2.80. Super Mirage $5.50 after 7. There's a nibble sauce.
Horses called 7 and drew. Okay, all right.
50 cents. Does both wet track form,
That way.
That same race as the favourite last time out. Was well beaten there, beaten almost 5, but as you said, 1 from 1 on heavy. He's also a winner on soft ground. In fact, the only 2 wins of its career have been on rain-affected surfaces. So, yeah, it's getting pretty wet out there. We haven't lost too many runners yet, which is good. Lost a couple out of I think, race number 5 by memory, but everything else looks okay at this stage. But we'll see how that pans out as the conditions probably continue to rain.
John says 3 and 4. 3 is there in somewhere or the other.
Which is the 3rd leg of the early quaddy. Start of the main quaddy with Darren.
And now, Silvanito. He likes to get the toe in. It's the favourite at 2.25 and 7s. His best form's been on rain affected going, and 7s is a very solid second pick at 2.80, and no support for Super Mirage. He was a lot shorter than this.
I don't know. 8. Ascot 7 EW.
Moves into the 3rd of the day, star turn at binary over 1,500 metres. There's the 6 of them off on their way. Cecino, the gold jacket, jump best. From Silvanito straight up into second.
Please let that happen, baby.
Charles Murphy gets back, and the Naval Commission as well. So the 2 horses were told going forward, they're the last 2. And Cecino leads in the 1,200 metres with Silvanito pushing the issue on the outside.
Yeah, do that
Super
thing.
Mirage just holding
8
the
is
forward
raving.
third on the fence of Silverado.
Rave it, rave it.
Further back to sevens and a gap to Naval Commissioner on the inside now. Murphy,
Rave it,
1,000
baby.
out and Silverado can take control of the race now. And got 2 lengths clear the heavily back favourite. Cecino a clear second. Then Super Mirage and a half the outside to sevens. Further back to Naval Commissioner and a half length away to Nails Murphy as they race down the side of the course. Silvanito on top by a length and a half. Cecino second. McDonald goes early here on sevens. Riley, he wants to be right up there with the front runner. How much further will he go? Sevens puts the pressure on Silvanito now. Sevens with a head in front from Silvanito on the crest of the corner. Then came Cecina being pushed along. Super Mirage hunted from Nails Murphy and Naval Commission still last into the straight. And Silvanito in front from sevens coming a little bit later. Starting to build the rest up now. Sevens and a put paid to Silvanito. Nails Murphy making some headway.
Yes, baby.
Making some headway. But sevens has drawn 2 lengths clear with 150 to go. Nails Murphy's fighting into the margin very slightly, but he's loving the wet conditions today. Taylor makes
7, 2, 3.
by McDonald by 2. Nails Murphy second, Cecino third. Super Mirage
Boom!
for a distant fourth. It's a fanging for Finn Naval Commission.
7, 2,
And the
3.
heavily back favourite Silvanito led and dropped right out. Sevens,
Yeah.
dominant.
See what they did with that 8? That was brilliant. They started raving that horse, and I was so happy. 3.7.
For the first time, makes it 2 starts and 2 wins in heavy. And career wins
Brilliant.
10 over.
Conditions today. It's lovely.
So they started raving that horse. They generally didn't. I mean, zero pressure is difficult, and this one got beaten by this one. Because this one was also raving. He was not supposed to rave. J-Mac played beautifully. J-Mac played beautifully. He waited for the right time. He played beautifully on this. J-Mac played beautifully on this. Three, 8, 9 all scratched. 3, 8, 9 scratched. 2, 7, 1, 6. Two, 7, 1, 6. I don't know what the 7 will do because it is again 0. So it is 0. It was 0 here. Zeros are very difficult to work with. I don't know if that 7 is... So this one and this one is usually a queen, right? The 2 and the 1, they usually are a queen. But for that to happen, this thing needs to win. This is not in a winning position. This thing is not in a winning position. It doesn't have the rails or the physics to win. It's an 1800 meter. It doesn't have the rails to win. So that's okay. Again, this is good, all right. This is benchmark 80. This is benchmark 88. This is good. 1 is not in a winning position because if we take it as a linear, it doesn't have physics. If we take it as a drift, it is on pressure. So, I mean, it's a 4-figure linear. It's not in a position to win. So 2 is okay. Again, JMAC. So it's probably 261. Probably 261. The 7 is a 4-year-old mare. It's a very strong horse, but it's with 0 pressure. And if we look here, then these two are all 101, 101, and this is also 101. But this is 71, that is 81, 82, 1753. Here what happened is that 7, 94 by 87, that went through. 3 should have come in, but no, the 2 got in. Because it got raped, right? 105, 97. Here, the 2 is at 99, 101, 101. This is 91. I don't know. So 101, 101. Here, this is in a bad state. Out of these two, both have difficulty. This is a bad management. They are worst in their management. Out of all this thing that is happening, they're the worst. Whether they'll be able to. Bendigo Cup. Okay. Ascot! Thank you so much for doing that, baby.
850 to 10, back to 950. There's money for interpretation everywhere. Go to number 3. $21 into $16, and the blinkers are back on the 8-year-old today.
Yeah, so masterful the gear change on the stars, the stats back that up, and if you're not getting any younger, but he's going quite well. He's running himself, even was a super fast race, wasn't probably real world. But that form was certainly franked into a Corfu Cup from that race.
For those after a real roughie, Strawberry Rock has just been spec, but you're siding here with quietness. $101 for the Melbourne Cup, 25th in the order of entry, so basically squeezes in.
Yeah, they obviously they'd like a win, and then look, she's in great form, and gets to that trip third up. So the first couple of 100 metres might tell us.
For the Bendigo Cup at Group 3, plenty of prize money,
6-win
$500,000 in
Bendigo.
the pockets, $300,000. Here's Rick McIntosh.
Lawrence goes in. 340 quietness, $4.
This is a tricky one. 2400 meter again. There's no 5-year-old mares.
The great Don Diego de Vega comes up.
Don Diego Vega.
Australian thoroughbred bloodstock runners. Mark Twain coming in now with his blue cap to distinguish him from He's a Shocker.
1-6-11.
Was the champion 2 years ago. It catapulted him into the Melbourne Cup where he got a good slice.
What is that one?
I think he ran 5th or something that year. He's got the outside gate. It's one of a gang tackle from Kieran Maher. Interpretation comes in. Wait for the roar. Here we go, the Ladbrokes Bendigo Cup is underway. The gates crash back. And Arapaho, the Sydney Cup winner, was the first to go. Sayadati out well with God's Window. Mark Twain working forward. They're followed by Elmer Rise. Don Diego de Vega having a look, and Quietness, the favourite, is going forward. 4 deep, it's got a chance to up. Strawberry.
Oh man, that horse looks like that 6 looks like I am here, baby.
Inside Arapaho, linked to the after Raging Bull, followed by Tara Mansour. Age of Sail. Next was He's a Shocker, and Interpretation took his medicine from the outside gate and dropped out to the rear. Quietness is going to
give it a little rest. Give it a little rest. Don't rave it.
Quietness out by Chillings on Elmer Rise.
Give it a little rest.
4th on the outside was God's Window. Sayadati was 5th over on the rails, and then followed Don Diego de Vega in the same colours with the red cap, the grey next.
Bad idea. He's raving it. It's 2,400 meter. Why is he raving it?
Over on the inside of Arapaho, who's got off the fence. They're followed next by Age of Sail, who's deep out around Earl of Tyrone and the local Raging Bull. He's pulling his way through along the rails. Tara Mansour next, taking off, followed by He's a Shocker. And a length away, Interpretation, who's looking to get onto the white train. Any moment, Quietness gets to the 1,000-metre mark. Going along sweetly in the lead. Leads out by a length for Jamie Mellon. Second, the outside, Elmer Rise is going up to look it in the eye. Third over on the inside. Enjoying a good trip as Sadati got through underneath of Mark Twain. Then Strawberry Rock, God's Window next, who's about to present. Latching onto its back, Age of Sail around Don Diego de Vega. Tara Mansour takes off deep, the whip starting now, followed by Raging Bull, and then Interpretation trucking in around Arapaho. He's a Shocker, and 2 lengths away was Earl of Tyrone. A packed field as they round the bend. What a sight, 400 metres to go. Quietness is the leader, trying hard to keep Sayadati is endeavouring to get through underneath of Elmer Rise. Then Mark Twain being passed by God's Window. Raging Bull was next.
Go, baby.
Sayadati.
Oh,
Quietness who's still just in front. Sayadati went there though.
4-6. That was a bad idea. It lost gas. He was raving that horse. Why was he raving that horse, man? 4-6-14. 4-6-14. That was a bad one. I mean, 2,400 meter. It is the same thing that happened here also. They started raving that horse for no reason. 2,400 meters. Why would you rave? Number 2 on Lakeside. The doggies, Bishwa, welcome back. 3, I think. Vishwa, I think 3. Doomben. Yeah, 3. Eight,
400
Doomben.
metres on this 78 track. Favourite is number 8, North Pole. It was $2.25 not long ago, back into $2.15 lace with the tap fee. Bender, $3.20 to $3.40, back into $3.10 late has been the best back to beat.
Good night, John. Stay blessed, my friend. I'll see you on Saturday. Then we have Melbourne Cup, and then we have some good racing coming up next week.
Is the favourite number 8. Bernie Jr. with a bender number 2. North Pole for Paul Joyce. And for this man, David Fowler.
How these jocks calculate the most. That's the pain. Gatekeeper, that's the pain. That's the biggest pain.
Shut above average talent. The market likes it too. That's what impresses me the most.
That is the biggest pain.
Now 215. Again, the support there at 310. They don't like rules of round 420. Nor Gorbachev at 950. So 2 thirds and 2 easies. 8 North Pole and 2 up end of the market movers. The market drifters 1 ruins of road and number 6 Gorbachev. I've said a few times today, whilst the track's officially rated a heavy 8, they've only gone down 1 grade. The track is considered playing better. It's certainly the soft road. Low rate thinking. As the Bendy goes in, the Philly goes. Listening to the quaddy coming up. Gorbachev has gone in. The Bender has moved up. Here's ruins of road. Yes. Return today. North Pole similarly first up. I think the last one to be he's the favourite North Pole, number 8, 225, 2 Bender, 310.
It's a 4-horse race. Which one is a blinker?
All set. 100 metres or so. Gorbachev has been leading for speed up on the inside.
206.
The jockey of the Bender quite happy to have that lead there go. He sits in third. And Ruins of Road first up today, about 2.5 lengths away in 4th position. In the first beat, it's just over 800 left to run. And the outsider in the 4th field, Gorbachev sets the speed. Leads by lengths of the quarter, North Pole, who's travelling boldly in second. Racing third of Bender, 2 behind North Pole, and 2-way Ruins of Road past the 4. Heading down the side now, short of 600 metres left to run, and Gorbachev has set a genuine tempo. North Pole leads up to be close now, trailing by half a length as they approach the turn. Bender's got the sitting shot on the lead pair, and Ruins of Road turns in last. Into the home straight, Gorbachev the leader. Thompson on North Pole now asks him to go on the outside, challenging strongly. They're about 2 in front of the Bender, who's trying to come after the leading pair, and Ruins of Road's only battling away. Gorbachev giving something on the inside. North Pole on the outside might be narrowly in front. A Bender can't reach him. Gorbachev and North Pole. This will go right down to the line, and Gorbachev
6-8.
A Bender third, and Ruins of Road in last position. So Gorbachev repels the North Pole, and under Dilla Turner pays $11.
Yeah, Vishwa. I don't know if the 8 was the linear. He should have had the lead. 4-horse race. This is supposed to go wrong. Yeah. The mistake driving the propulsion with stupid body problem. Gatekeeper, you have no idea what kind of a pain that is. These jocks, they're capable of doing wonders. PC has a nice analogy on this. PC says 8 jocks and then men. But that's a genuine problem. I mean, we've had plenty of conversations here on jockeys. I honestly believe that there needs to be a roundup, before the race. The trainers and the jocks, they need to sit together, discuss. They need to make a plan. Without a plan, nothing works. There has to be a plan. Assuming that somebody is going to do the job without a clarity, it doesn't work. I mean, 90% of the time, the trainers, they assume that the jocks are going to do their job. But that's the biggest problem. They don't brief. They don't brief the jocks. I mean, you have trained the horse. It is your baby. Why wouldn't you brief the jock on the upside and the downsides? Why wouldn't you brief? And why there is no plan? On to next race. Yeah, the 2 probably is the winning. It's J-Mac. Unless he rides that upside down. See, the 1 doesn't stand a chance. The 1 will not win. It doesn't have the physics. Gilded waterfront. Should be 130. Let's see. I mean, I like the 6, but the 6 is also like there's a problem with the management with 6. The 6 should be able to do it, but there's a problem here. That opens up 4, but that is very dicey. That is very dicey. This is bad. This is not good. This is bad. I don't know what they will do, but this definitely doesn't look good. The 2 is neat. The 2 is neat. Absolutely neat. Spotless. J-Mac on board. This is trouble. This is difficult. The rest, everything is dicey. 2 looks good. And 11 EW Murray. Race 4 will be an upset. Anything can be an upset depending on what they do. I mean, the best thing that we are able to do here or anywhere is probably making a calculated risk, calculated and It's a educated guess. That's what you can say. The rest is wild. The rest is wild. The best is an educated guess that this should happen unless they put everything upside down, which is quite possible. They're quite capable of putting everything upside down. Nah, God. 9-2 in Vermont. I get very nervous the moment JMac is from gate number 1. When JMac is from gate number 1, that becomes a little dicey. Gate number 5 is okay. Gate number 5, he thinks. I think, anything apart from gate number 1 and 2, JMac thinks. I think gate number 1 and 2, he doesn't think. I just recovered loss last COVID. Ascot, you're a champion.
It's a trade, unlimited. Dave on topic. 270 to 320 back into 310. They went up short of Brigadier Gal at 350 into 340. Pocketing is 480 into $4.20. We've got Bosland 13.14 back to 13. Inquiry minus 16 into 14. Five words is 5, just back out to $5.50. Bit of late interest there in pocketing. There's one from one on a heavy, and it was here in a group 2 telling stakes over.
Yeah, it certainly was, Marto, at 2,000 metres. So, always a positive when you tick that wet track box and this track as well. There's always all different types of wet tracks. So he's done that. He's been a bit inconsistent this prep, but a couple of runs have been okay, a couple of disappointing ones. So, being a group 2 winning is certainly going to help.
Back to midweek grade for the top pick unlimited, number 2.
Yeah, he is.
Vishwa, 2 is the best.
He seems pretty adaptable. So 2,000 back to 1,800, I don't think it's too much of an issue. J-Mac takes over, and ran on strongly behind Bill before the latest. I think he's the one to beat. I thought there'd be a bit more of a gap between him and
J-Mac.
Brigadier, but anyway, the market seems to really like that Brigadier Gal you love.
And it's only 1-2 of 12, Brigadier Gal. One of those wins was here at Rosehill.
Yeah, the tempo was against last time, got back, but you've got to kind of be a little bit creative to be really keen, I guess. Looking to run in the Mona Lisa was good, and then Idle Fire, form's good form, hitting low okay there, so it can be close there, and yet to see heavy, but it has one on soft grounds, I suppose, but yeah, it does seem quite short at $3.60 all the same.
Let's get it down ahead of the fourth.
Really folded up, both of them running last. And the last 2 winners have come down.
Which one is that?
So getting set here for race 4, just over the 1,800 metres. The track looking very well worn towards the inside.
If you're talking about 1, no, that's difficult, very difficult for 1.
Nice stopping class of a 5 in the red and black colours. There's the next to behind Children Water and Caulfield last time.
7. 7 is 7 is again with zero pressure. They don't generally win, and the difficulty is huge. 2 is clean shot probably.
And Unlimited is given a bit of a wind up from the white draw. Kind words away more from Inquiring Minds Unlimited. pocketing sits back and Brosnan's back there with it. So Convert's going to push on to a McAvoy wants the lead. And now Unlimited the favourite strides around the outside.
Don't rave it, baby. Don't rave it.
Bridgetine Gal sits handy on the outside of Inquiry. Mine's 2.5 to pocketing. And 2 lengths away to Brosnan. So Converts is the leader. From the race favourite Unlimited, 3/4 away to the outside. Inquiring Minds in third position on the rails at the 1200. 3/4 to Bridgetine Gal. Pocketing's happy to sit back on the field. The Tonic Stakes winner on the heavy going earlier this year. And 2 lengths away to Brosnan at the start of the field. They've got 1,000 to go. And Kindword shows the way by 3/4 to Unlimited. Then Inquiring Minds are half the outside of Bridgetine Gal. A gap to Pocketing. And still Brosnan last of all. So no change to the action.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Keep it like that.
And Kindword's under a double grip. A half in front to Unlimited. Then
Keep it like that, baby.
From Bridgetine Gal. Down Pocketing being wound up by Parr. He's trying to build up the rear. Likewise for Brosnan, and at the moment the two not picking up any ground. Kindwords at the 500, narrow leader from the favourite Unlimited. Bridgetine Gal stalks them, followed them by Inquiring Minds, Pocketing, and a gap to Brosnan not enjoying the conditions. Kindwords swings in front. Unlimited started to labour a bit from Inquiring
6 is going foul. Come on! What are you...
He's trying to get himself into the race. Kindwords jumped in front from Inquiring Minds, 3 off the Pocketing. Brosnan's got in the mood now. He's charging home. Inquiring Minds in front from...
Can you believe that? That 4 is the 5-6-4. 5-6-4.
Followed then by Bridgetine Gal, who just didn't let down. And the favourite Unlimited. Another one's been well beaten. It's finished the clear last.
Inquiring Minds winning under Dylan Nibbins and 6 ahead of 4 probably. Looks like Kindword second ahead of Brosnan. And 1 Pocketing will finish a close-up 4th in Clyde.
5. Then 6. The 6 was like that. 5, 6, 4. Everything with low pressure. This guy. Why? It was okay. This was even that came in 1800 meter. Could not take. Is that a joke? So everything with low pressure got through. Why that happened? Seven was difficult. That was difficult. Zero pressure they don't get in generally. But the quadra is very high. This one is very high. This one was the last. Yeah, this one was the last. The highest odds on this one, 5. 1 was not in a position to win. 7 was not in a position to win. 2 was all placed right, then what went wrong? He raved it? Is that what the scene is? Because it's a 5-year-old, you were not supposed to rave it, and he raved it? That's what happened? Bad. Race number 5. 8, 9, 6, 7. So this basically here, up here, if we look at the advantages which are here, they also are like that. So they're not in a great shape. This is probably the second horse. 8 is the linear, but the mismatch is the jock. Okay. The jock is handicapped in a way which is difficult. Which is difficult. This is difficult. The 8 is difficult because it's a linear, okay? It's a linear, but the jock is not the one who's supposed to be with the linear. The jock is supposed to be with those guys or here. This is a mismatch. So if that's a mismatch, then this one has physics. The pressure is building. Nine. This is linear. This is the second linear. All right. There's a huge management on this, which is good. The jock is handicapped in a way which is not great. So I don't know whether 8 will win. It'll be difficult for 8 to win with that. It's an 1100 meter. It is 1100 meter. It is going to be pace. So if it is pace and this is the first, this is the second, there's something in between, and that is 6. 6 is in between, but 8 winning is difficult. 9 winning is difficult here. 9 winning is difficult here. Then what will happen? Then what will happen? This is difficult here. This is difficult here. H, not the thing. Probably 9 is also looking difficult. 6 is probably second. 7 doesn't have the pressure for 1100 meter. These two are like that. The rest is this, the 6-year-old mare. Are you kidding me? One. So the 8 is difficult because of the jock. The jock is handicapped very badly. The 9 is difficult because it is difficult for this guy. The 7 doesn't have the pressure, plus it is going down. 6 cannot win. Here it is all bad management. It's a bad race. 6 probably EW 6. I don't know if that 6-year-old mare will win. But looking at, I mean, that is also a misfit. For that, it cannot be like that. That 1600 it needed to drop, but it did not drop. It is on a pressure lineup. And we are expecting that to beat that 6-year-old mare, the 3-year-old filly. Six will not win. It is difficult for 6 to win with zero pressure. That is 1100. It will not win. 8 is very dicey. 8 is very dicey. Very dicey, this one. 9 is the same thing. It has the pressure, but the difficulty is huge. You see, the difficulty will not let it get in. The difficulty will not let it get in. If there is a difficulty, plus it is a 0, that doesn't win. This is huge. That will not work. Then what? 5. That is a 50% bleeding. This will go disaster. This will be a disaster of a race. Don't get in. Doombend. And I think gatekeeper, you were right. There's a disaster coming. Upset, like you mentioned.
$5.50 into 460, well, it's back out to $5 really late. Dazzling Diamond is the outsider, 11 into $9.50 is getting spec as well. So look at the bookies last 15 minutes. So Kel, 340 into $3 as the best trade, and the only move to beat a Dazzling Diamond late, 10, 11 into $9.50, or about 60 seconds away from start time. All goes through Dazzling Diamond. So Kel on top for Bernie Cooper, and for David, we join him out of the sixth.
I like a Sir Kel, 4-year-old. She only had the 5 race starts. The first run was very good, and she was a victim of a slowly run race at Eagle Farm. That's when she resumed in March of this year. Won her maiden easily to something. In fact, it wasn't a maiden, it was a benchmark 65. Won it easily. And then there was probably a bridge too far. She went to the Princess, then went to the Gold Coast Bracelet. That was on absolute bog. But she's back today first up. I thought she trialled well, and the market likes her as well as you've outlined, Marto, $3. But others will give it a chance. There are 480. He's always been around that mark. Every half 480. Sequel soft at 480. Love Cats at $8. They're coming in well. Runners loading for the 6th race today. As Dazzling Diamond moves up, Love Cats about to come forward for Andrew Madden riding from that down. They were successful earlier with shortcuts in the 3rd race. And Maloney about to bring up Sir Kel, who plays second fiddle in the 4th race today when Easy Glove was narrowly beaten by San Gabriel. Every half goes up. His sequel coming in, and the last to load is Sir Kel. He goes off the favourite number 4 down with a 2 in front of the price. 2 fixed. And then locked and loaded. Only now. Race 6 of Doomans set to go. Speed every half came out strongly. Love Cat showing early good 4th away Dazzling Diamond. Then came sequel and last was Sir Kel. That's the first call down the next straight 900 left to run. And Love Cat's pushed up on the inside to keep out every half. They match matters in the lead. They're not going overly fast. Meriton secures the box seat in 3rd. And 4th the outside was Dazzling Diamond in a 1-8 trading position. And the last pair, sequel outside of Sir Kel, is a tangleably placed last on the fence. Heading down the side, 600 left to run. They've completed half the journey, and the pace continues to be only fair. Where Love Cats dictates the terms narrowly from every half. Here's Sequel coming up 3-1. All of a sudden, Maloney now hops onto the back of Sequel, getting a ride into the race and pulling 4 deep. Then Dazzling Diamond coming off the bid, and Meriton in the inside. Down below the 300 metres, every hard in a tussle with Love Cat. Peaking on the front of Sequel, so Keller's still running on. Coming home generously down the outside. The favourite is hitting top gear now. Love Cat's in front, not for long. Sir Kel on the outside, went on by it. Sir Kel,
410.
She's above average. Beat home Love Cats. Every half, Dazzling Diamond, Meriton, and Sequel leading to run last.
410-6.
Sir Kel for Ryan Maloney, paying the 2 range across the touch. Too good for Love Cats and every heart. It's 4-10-6. 5 is running 4th. And we're 6 races down, 2 races to come. And good. Off an easy trial win, though.
Yeah, she does, Marto. And look, unfortunately, no price now with the 3 late scratchings, but that's the way it goes with these wet conditions. And look, her recent trial was outstanding. It was the fastest heat of the morning comfortably. She wasn't let off the bit. Ups and lead these, and look, provided she gets through the conditions, she does look awfully hard to beat, as the market suggests. But we're going to take the shorts now with, a few of the main fancies coming out. But, there are best rivals to beat all the same. So 8, 4, 9, and 7 numbers. If you're looking for one of those, like William Pictures and Hopeless, I like the trials. I think they've been really sharp this time in, and the horse that Ace got some good wet track form. 9 taxation, nice win on debut. Looks a talented horse for the Joe Pride out of course for Godolphin. Needs to lift again off that, and the form out of the race has been okay. Green Sassy went third, it's gone out 1. Sponos went second, was disappointing since. It's a bit mixed. And 7 Killanova was disappointing fresh, but can improve and does have some wet form. So, look, your favourite does have a heavy track win. That was a second run in its debut preparation. So, look, she's a really well-bred mare out of Overreach and by Zoostar. So, look, expect her to be hard to beat here. I think she's got a bit of upside.
Played with the bookies, 175, 165, back to $1.70 for the nets taxation. 4 out to 550, nibble back into 5, killing over 7 into $6.50. There's a little nibble for Miss Bucklinger as we turn to a break for Chris Lee, 16 to 14 over. A couple of Newcastle trials, 3 of the most recent. Wasn't bad in stakes grade last campaign.
Yeah, she wasn't. She ran a couple of nice races, the Bingo Girl and races like that, and Princess Stakes up there in Queensland. Thought the 1100 metres would be too short for her here. Look, not one I can really talk you into, but did finish third behind Regal Problem in that recent trial. That horse won well the other day at Scone in a strong race, so certainly not hopeless, but I just think the 1100 is a bit short.
The one that you like, plenty of winners around her and from that debut preparation.
Yeah, certainly. She's a horse that's stacked with ability and like the form lines last preparation. I think she's come back better, and she's bred to continue to get better. She's pretty fast out of the gates too, so expect her to cross and lead these.
Let's get to Darren for the second last.
Off now $1.70, and she won a maiden at well in a heavy track, and she won that maiden comfortably. So $1.70 is the call. Taxation at $5, prepared by Joe Pride. It's a great success for the Godolphin runners so far. Now in the net, following a sizzling barrier trial here at Rosehill, the $1.70 favourite, Tyler Schiller aboard, and they're all in now. Ready to run, race number 5. Half dozen running gates are back and a great level line away, and the favourite Annette was first out and is showing great acceleration to lead comfortably. Flight Crew there being restrained. Titanium Miss improves on the rails from Killanova. Taxation jumped okay, but being snagged back to settle second last in advance of Miss Bustlinger. So Annette is charging along the lead, wants to go quicker. Out by a length and a half on Killanova, pulling its way to second. Flight Crew now third on the outside of Titanium Miss. Taxation settles back in the field with cover one off the fence in advance of Miss Bustlinger. Side to death, the $1.70 favourite. First up today, travelling well coming around the turn. Killanova pretty handy in the run as they come to the middle of the track. Several lengths to Titanium Miss, Flight Crew, and Taxation's got it all to do. But Nanette is cruising at the 300 metres. Killanova's flat to the boards. Then came Titanium Miss from Flight Crew starting to knuckle down. Taxation falling, so they starting to knuckle down. Here's Nanette knocking off here. She's got stage fright. Here's Taxation down the outside with Flight Crew. Taxation, Flight Crew. Taxation got the money. Taxation beat
9-3. Brilliant.
For third, absolutely staggered to the line. Probably in front of Titanium Miss Bustlinger. And
Boom.
Killanova we can ride out.
Taxation makes it 2 starts, 2 winners. Goes from Hawkesbury one day to Rosehill the next.
Where is the one? That was scratched, I think. The one got scratched.
3-8 should grip on for third, just ahead of the 4. Taxation looks a handy filly for Joe Pride.
So 8 was a problem with the jock. He raved it also badly. The 9 went through with that leverage. Though it was difficult, but it had the physics and everything, it went through. The 6 did not get there. Where was the 1? I don't know. The 1 should have been there. Where was 1? Scratched. Late scratching, I think. I don't know. I did not see the 1. Out of here, the 9 kind of went through with the pressure line. And the 3 got there. For what joy? Because all of them are like that. See how much it affects. The management is like that, and the 3 was here. The 6 was not in a position to win. Nine, 3, and then I don't know what happened. Go to the last. It's heavy 8 right now. 3, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13. 3, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13. All scratched. 9, 14, 2, 4. There's no reason for the 9 to lose. If the 9 loses, then that is a disaster. If the 9 loses, 123 drops down to 12 here. This one is gate number 3, drops to 6, 4, 2, 10. But this one we're going to run neutral. $44, $43. This is 40. 14 is the second linear, so there's something in between, and that's probably 4. 9, 4. Hope so. 9 should not be losing. 9 should not be losing. Beautiful PC.
Look, the change is what we form apprentice as well, so yeah, in the mid 50.
And backing liquid, the bookings as well, Celsius Star, it's $13 into $11. Bookings favourite last 15 minutes, big sexy, is $2.35 into $2.25 to get the $2.40 pending. Link like tab has plenty of fans to beat at 8 into 6. What's number 13 has been Specs, Gazette, and it's 10 back into 11. It's Celsius Star, other little nibbles include Wilmot at 3, which is $17 into $15. But really big sexy, lively race for a 4-year-old, and looks really promising.
Yeah, he's ticked that good trade box, yes, and that's what we're sort of banking on at the city price. But look, probably I'm happy to go forward with it. A few other on-speed runners, so I'll make an early plan.
Saltburn, the second up go for the favourite, was 6 at Flemington in a Saturday race behind Sue Rain, where it struck traffic and then hit the line nicely.
Yeah, it's a terrific run. I mean, you can argue till the end of time. He goes really close to winning that race. It's not easy, but they tend to be questioned without an answer when they're going to have like that.
If Penny Link is best back everywhere to beat it, Smoking himself going for it, it's 1-1 at the track.
Yeah, he's really solid. He's winning by around him. It's average run. It's a hard fight.
The late support for Gazette number 13, which is in your mix, 10-12 back into $10. She looks to have come back well.
Yeah, she looks she's little poor man from Penny Link. She's much earlier in the career, but again, just so genuine. Form around her sport as well. So she's got a big case there.
Let's send to wrap up Cup Day with Rick. 3, 4, and 2 of the numbers. Benny Allen's had 3. Nash has had a couple. The Hayes boys have trained 3. Active duty, one of the 2-pronged attack for former Perth champion trainer Lindsay Smith. Wilmot comes in the line. This other man looked very fit, Gurite. She's in the Rosehill red. She's been nibbled away since the once you spotted her. 13 into 10. Big sexy. She's handled herself okay, considering. Was threatening to let the occasion get the better of her.
11.
Point, but as Paddy said, there's a lot of people about. It's a busy day. Good experience. She kept it together. Yam has gone in. And Power Bound's going to be the last one. Barrier blanket on. Walks up into line. Bendigo Cup after parties at the Sporting Globe tonight.
buses from the track. The last meeting here as we undergo a big renovation. Set for the last on 2025 Cup Day, and they're off and racing. And Celsius Star was one of the first to bounce out. Active Duty wants a piece of the action, and Big Sexy is up there. They were followed next to the field then by Dragoon and Wilmot. Wanted to be forward, looks like it might have to drag back and nick back for cover now as Bolt Saber saves ground on the inside. Pending Link in that group, and then Yam followed by Gavita, Rogan, Gurite, Russian Meteor and Powerbound from the outside gate went back. And as last, Celsius Star, the top, he led the favourite Big Sexy off the back. Active Duty in a good spot third. Dragoon is fourth and Bolt Saber getting a nice front fifth over on the inside of Impending Link. Wilmot now 3 deep on his lone. Tracked by Rogan, Gavina's on the rails, and then Yam, Russian Meteor, Gurite riding for luck, and then Powerbound. Up towards the turn, Celsius Star giving him something to chase now. Big Sexy Trouble's okay. Then Dragoon pushing Wilmot right off the track, and Active Duty came out under the pair as heads were turned for home. Bolt Saber got up behind them too, and then Gavina. It's Celsius Star, the leader from Big Sexy, urged along to get on terms. It's challenging. Gavina ran up behind them. Then Bolt Saber, Wilmot and Gurite are starting to come down the outside with a big run. Gurite, the Seamus Award, went up to Big Sexy. Oh, she's going to trot him. Gurite won by a length over Big Sexy. They'll both go to Melbourne down. Celsius Star tried hard to stick on for third. Then followed by Yam and Bolt Saber. Wilmot didn't have much luck. Powerbound got home a bit from Active Duty. Dragoon, Russian Meteor and Rogan.
Should have led again. Jock sitting pretty waiting. Yeah, that. How can you tell them not to do that, PC? Boomben is coming up. Boomben 7.
Newcastle 460 to 6 back to 550. Galano 750 out to 8 back to 750, and Hereditary 850 out to 10 back into $8.50. Whiskey Dream on top for Paul Joyce. Bernie Cooper keen on Disney Castle number 3, and David Fowler tips 2. For 1 Galano and 9 Ring Bearer. I'm interested in the update. I thought it was the hardest race of the day. Well, there's 6 runners. They're all single figures from a range of $3.40 to $7. That shows $8.50. That shows you the evenness of the field. They're all given some sort of chance. They're making the quadding. We're now on a soft 7, and I feel that the track has probably played that way most of the day. It's recovered well after that 2 inches of rain we had yesterday. Now they're moving in well. Just waiting on Disney Castle or American Fireball to complete the line. We go after this. Got to Rockhampton tomorrow in central Queensland. It's the thoroughbred venue in Queensland. Ipswich have 6 on Friday, and there are 10 at Eagle Farm on Saturday. We're just waiting on Disney Castle. Last look at the fixed odds board. On 10, number 5, Whiskey Dream. Goes to the post as the favourite, $3.40. All in now, set to go. Starter Smith picks up the button. Light flashing. Whiskey Dream just made a dive at the gates. Steadies up now. Should catch them any moment. Racing. Galano was only moderately away from the line to try to improve its position. Whiskey Dream and Rick Bear, they both began well. 1 and 2 on settling down, and Galano gets the third. Then came American Fireball, followed by Hereditary and Disney Castle, given ample time to balance up, find her feet, and she settled 6th and last. Into the back now, 1,300 left to run, and Rick Bear moved through and kept out Whiskey Dream, so it appears that Jockey Thompson is going to try and lead all the way. Galano is poised in third. He's March arched the neck and travelling well. 4th, the outside American Fireball. Length and a half to Hereditary. Disney Castle last, 6 off the lead. Along the back straight, they travel by the 1,000 metres. Then Thompson has slowed down things with Ring Bearer, wheeling and diving up front length to Whiskey Dream. Favourite gets a good run in second. Third, Galano. Similarly, also getting a tiny run in transit. American Fireball 4, Hereditary 5, and Disney Castle 6. So no change to the running order. Down the side with 700 left to run. Ring Bearer going to do it all the way. Whiskey Dream just getting a little closer now. Trailing by about 3/4 of a length. Galano third and sweating on a run. It's had a good runner. Then American Fireball, Hereditary, and Disney Castle. Now they're in pairs as they approach the turn. 450 left to run. Ring Bearer starts to increase the speed. He's being ripped along by Thompson. Trying to respond. Whiskey Dream might be going better. And American Fireball all of a sudden peels out 3 wide. They went past Ring Bearer swiftly. Whiskey Dream led. American Fireball tackled him. And now Disney Castle starts to put in. Galano needs to run and can't find one. American Fireball in front. Short of 100 to go. Galano gets out now. Flashing home. Flying home. Galano got up. Beat American Fireball, Whiskey Dream.
1.
4th either Ring Bearer or Disney Castle. She picked on the run. And Hereditary ran last. Just needed the brakes, Galano, and they came for Kobe Bittler, and over the top at $7.50 at $3.40 to beat American Fireball and Whiskey Dream. 3 whites up 4, Disney Castle, 7 down.
1-8. 5.
Got the benefit sale is due at about 80 seconds from now. The fixed odds favourite jumping off the 6th.
One probably had the highest pressure. 10. 12:1. Okay. What is that analogy?
To the trade with the bookies, Just Glamorous, 310, 320 into 260, and It's a Wonder, 440 into $3.40 as the best factor beat it. Dogo's on top of a bit softer, Clear Encore, 280 into 390. Well, we're there, the other two, Trafalgar Square, 1850, Nantucket Island, $6 out to $9. Just Glamorous, 50 minutes back here, tongue tie back on, sticking up in the break.
Who is getting tailed?
Sticking up in the path, Dogo.
And Waterhouse, Marto, and now with Joe Pride. And look, she was just morning fresh, I thought, but I just thought maybe getting up to 1,400 metres, certainly she could be more aggressive in the small field today, get up on speed, and we know that's been a rider in the past. So
Watford 2 is the favourite now.
heavy, she's won on top ground as well, so she should be.
9 has been scratched.
It is a bit of a funny track today. Some horses with good wet form just not handling it. It seems to be quite sticky.
I don't know if the 9 has been scratched.
It seems to be one of those where maybe wet track form, it isn't as important as other days, although there's been a few wet track winners, but some horses as well, like I said, with good wet form. Just
Oh, 9 is there.
This back to beat Just Glamorous is It's a Wonder, number 4.
What are they showing?
She got a return foot this girl. She didn't really show up there first up on the Kenzo track, but she'll be better for that run. Yeah, she's a two-time winner in this distance range in the past, has placed here on the home track as well. And like I said, Motorboat wins have been on rain-affected surfaces, so she just needs the right sort of setup in the small field, which she won't be too far off them, of course, with only 5 runners, and she'll be sure of the business end.
The Clear On course has been a bit soft everywhere as a top pick, basically a really consistent record.
Yeah, look, the first up win was at home, Newcastle there, so I suppose that's always a little query, but better a decent enough horse in Son of Deck. I think can improve off that. 1,400 looks about right at this stage of the prep and has decent wet form with a good claim. So, we're in the top 2, 7 of 11 overall as well.
Wrap it up with Darren.
59.5 after the
Where is 9?
So Trafalgar Square moves in. Just Glamorous.
God knows what they're showing.
Taxation claimed them late to win the previous. Came from second last turning for home. Just getting there from Flight Crew. And the net
You spam
leader
it.
for 300 metres.
That is not showing anything.
Under third. There's the line now.
I think 9 has been scratched.
1,400 metres. The Calorie Life handicap. Ready to run.
What are they doing? God knows what they're doing.
The start of his second last. It's the one that was quite sluggish out and settles last in the field of 5. So Trafalgar Square won the start, and Just Glamorous is firing up in second spot. Really acting up. Sits in second from a clear encore, then Nantucket Island, and It's a Wonder is pretty relaxed at the tail of the field. So Trafalgar Square rolls along by a length to Just Glamorous. And she's settled a lot better now. Hieronymus has got her to switch off a bit in second. They're followed then by Clear Encore, tucked away third, a length and a half Nantucket Island, and 2 lengths away to It's Wonder. Field of 5 in the last of the day at Rosehill. Trafalgar Square a half length in front of the post-time favourite, Just Glamorous. Then a Clear Encore travelling up on a long rein third, a half the outside Nantucket Island, and a length and a half to It's a Wonder travelling strongly at the rear of the field. Approaching the turn, Trafalgar Square ahead in front now to Just Glamorous. A Clear Encore trapped away on the inside of Nantucket Island.
9 was a late scratching, I think.
As they straighten up. Trafalgar Square coming to the middle of the track. A length and a half to Just Glamorous being raced along in second. Then came a Clear Encore 2 lengths along the inside. It's a Wonder's trying the fresh ground down the outside. And is doing a big job of it here. It's Trafalgar Square being tackled now by It's a Wonder. Sailing down the outside fence. Rarely used today. And It's a Wonder draws away for a big win from Trafalgar Square.
4, 12, 14. 9 was scratched.
Just Glamorous got really tired, and Nantucket Island was last in.
Behind It's a Wonder sailing it. Outside, right on by. It's pay $3.50 and $1.04. Very well read there by Done Deal out of LA Wonder. Third.
4. 9 was scratched. 4. Then 2. 14. Nine was scratched late, so it was not there. So 4 went through with that advantage. 2 was the second one. 39, 39, this was low. Then God knows, they had some other scratching, but that is it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. We had 6 races today here at Rosehill. That was the last one. But I'm going to be racing again on Saturday, so if you have a little time, please come and join me. We will race together, do a little chit chat, and try to have some fun here. And we do horse racing analytics, so if you like what we do, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And anybody who's watching it from anywhere, thank you so much for being here. PC, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Gatekeeper, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Vishwa, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Ascot, my friend, thank you so much for the donations, and thank you so much for being here, my friend. John, I know you went off to sleep, but thank you so much for being here, my friend.